The Chuck Knoxx Show. Don't go to bed Mondays without it.
And we are live. Welcome in, Giants fans, to the post-game, the first ever Chuck Knoxx Show post-game show. As the Giants just wrapped up the unbelievable 24-20. I don't even know if this categorizes as a stunning or shocking win. The Giants did come into this game as the underdogs in their own house. But here we are again, and I'm full of emotions right now, folks. I'm just going to be honest with you. If it wasn't for the fact that I want to get this podcast done, this post-game wrap-up done, I don't even have the words to fully describe the emotions that I just went through. And if you're listening to this podcast, obviously I'm well aware you likely went through the same damn thing I did. All of us did. I mean, where do we begin on this victory? I can't tell you how much I love this coaching staff. All over the coaching staff. I'm not just Coach Dable, but offense, defensively, special teams. I mean, this was a coaching marathon today in MetLife today. This was a war. I mean, right off the bat of the game, you kind of knew as the Giants were kind of coming in playing, setting the tone early with Wink's defense coming out very strong. And, you know, it was a punt right off the bat. The Giants and Ravens each exchanged punts. And this is when you kind of got the feel. Like, okay, if this game is played out for the next three quarters this way, my God, we stand a good chance here. And sure enough, the Giants did. They didn't have to do too much offensively. They didn't have to do a bend and break style defense. It was enough. And I don't even know right now who you give the game ball to, who's the standout player in this game, because Julian Love, I mean, not just the key turnover here at the very end of the game, the interception that seals the Giants' fifth victory of the year. But prior to that, I mean, I got Julian Love listed down here up and down my notes. From the first quarter on, there was a key stop in the end zone that Julian Love had in the back of the end zone there, which would have been a touchdown. Giants defense early on, doing what they do the last few weeks, holding the threes, keeping them out of the end zone here and there, stopping Lamar Jackson the best they can. And obviously, you know, Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews, the combination those two had on the Giants defense early, it looked like this was going to be what keeps the Giants out of the win column. Especially the first half, Andrews is getting every single third down. Everywhere that Lamar Jackson could find Andrews, he would find him, and he would be open. And obviously, you know, the first quarter, nobody gets on the board in the first quarter. It's like a boxing match. Giants barely had the ball. I don't even think they had the ball maybe 2 or 3 minutes, if that. Not even that in the first quarter. Second quarter again, you got the Ravens driving down the field seemingly when they want, but they can't get the job done. And then they finally do get the job done. Drake had a great day against the Giants defense, but he scored a touchdown early. But the Giants responded big time with the debut, if you want to call it that, with the coming out party of Wan'Dale Robinson. And going into this season and going into this year, we kind of fantasized that if Jones could have one of those slot-style receivers that could be his go-to guy, that it could be Robinson. And then when he couldn't get on the field, it was like, fuck, you know. We don't have Tony. He can't get on the field. Shepard, prior to the injury, Shepard is guaranteed always to have, lengthy visits on the injury report because he just plays so hard. He plays so tough. And that's what I love about of Sterling Shepard. But, you know, body type, Robinson, Tony, Shepard, they're all kind of very similar, shifty, smaller guys. So you knew if he could have that speed and he could have that reliability that Jones has been looking for, that this was going to be a combination. And sure enough, hats off to Robinson today. I'm so proud of this kid to come into this game, be a big target on some key first downs. He gets his first touchdown of the game for the Giants and the first of his young career. And the Giants, it looked like in the first half, they get the ball back with a minute and 45 seconds. And I'm screaming at the TV here, don't try to do some of these quick, small runs to kind of just kind of go into halftime, because Baltimore wasn't going to play that way. And sure enough, they did not play that way. But unfortunately, the Giants didn't play aggressive enough at the end of the first half. They ended up having to punt the ball. And it looked like for a minute there that the Ravens were going to have a chance to add on and pad on some scores here, a score at least a field goal before the half. But at 10-7, big key third down, and we're going to talk about it again later on. Kayvon Thibodeau with a huge stop, knocks down the pass. He's in the face of Lamar Jackson, and the Ravens were forced to punt. There you go, a key stop. Would have had the Giants trailing probably at that point 13-7 at the other end of the half. But really the key, again, we see it every single week, especially on defense, but obviously in the wide receiver game, guys, whoever's got to step up's got to step up. And we see it time after time. And on defense, so many guys, from Ward to the X-Man, both X-Men, McKinney and Zimenez, making big plays. Lawrence showing the entire NFL this guy's becoming one of the game's best interior linemen. Just playing all over the fucking field. Kayvon Thibodeau. Hats off to Kayvon Thibodeau. His best game by far as a young rookie. He keeps getting closer and closer to those sacks. It's going to happen at some point. He's getting closer and closer. But what doesn't show up a lot of times in the highlights is his disruption, that he keeps getting closer and closer to those sacks. He's creating havoc. Long arms, deflecting balls, in the backfield in the blink of an eye. You just love it. You love to see the rookies on this team contributing, from Neal to KT, now to Robinson. It's remarkable. It truly is remarkable. As the Giants came out of the second half, and going out of halftime, I'm really confident at this point, because at the half, this is setting up to be the exact style of win and the style of game that we've had for the previous 5 weeks. If you don't blow the Giants out, it's going to come down to the wire. You don't stand a good chance against the 5-1 New York Giants. And here we were again. Giants come out in the second half, a slow start, had to punt early. And then, it looked like was going to be more of the first half. Drake's eating up the Giants, especially up the middle. And it looks like they're going to back right in, back up against the wall. Another 3 points here. But the Giants, again, kept responding, chipping away at the field, chipping away on the score, get back on the scoreboard, 13-10 at that point, trailing by 3, and I'm thinking this is exactly what we want. We're headed into the fourth quarter, 13-10, manageable, reasonable, within reach kind of game, and you better not blink, and then bam, right off the bat, there's that motherfucking Andrews. It felt like all game we can't stop this guy. You just couldn't. It was like Madden. He was like a cheat code out there. At first, you couldn't even stop this guy. Big touchdown. Ravens go up 20-10 early in the fourth quarter, and it looks like, oh, fuck. Here we go again. Green Bay game all over again. We're going to have to come back from 2 scores now in the fourth quarter. And I talked about this last week, but honestly, again, it was right there in my face this time, and every game for the last few weeks with this Giants team, no matter what the deficit is, and no matter who we're playing, because every week we're supposed to lose, but it just feels like, once again, that feeling has returned where the Giants have a chance to win. And you don't just think that they have a chance to win, you believe in it. We're down 2 scores, and the way the Ravens were eating up the clock, I'm saying to myself, if we don't respond quick, the Ravens are just going to eat the damn ball for the rest of the fucking game. That was my big concern. But what happened? You saw it again, this offense, whether it's next guys up, Ballinger, and Richie James, David Seals with some big plays again. Darius Slayton, once again, stepping up. My favorite Amazon driver, Marcus Johnson, making some key grabs. And in the first scoring drive, it seemed like everybody stepped up. You had Barkley, whether, he's aggravating his shoulder, but he's coming up. You knew it was a matter of time. You have Robinson making some key, a 17-yard first down for Robinson, making a huge impact. And the Giants are at the doorstep, and right there, Ballinger, another rookie. When I'm talking about rookies that are contributing, here's another one. This connection between Jones and Ballinger. 20-17, Giants down by 3. At this point, okay, it's 6:05. This is exactly where we want the Ravens. Exactly. Lamar Jackson and company, they start doing their thing. They're cooking. They're moving the ball. And I'm standing here. I'm having at least 4 heart attacks. I know I had a couple aneurysms. And I'm thinking to myself, not here. This cannot happen here. Can we just have our first turnover? And lo and behold, my prayer was answered as Julian Love gets the Giants' first interception and puts us right in scoring position. Coming up with the biggest play probably of the defense all season at this point. And just like last week, no matter who you call on, in the fourth quarter when the game matters most, somebody on this defense steps up every single time. It's somebody different almost every single time. And on this play, for the first interception of the year, Julian Love came up huge for the New York Giants and put the Giants in position to win this game. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. But before it can happen, good teams and teams that are on special runs, it takes a lot of things to happen. It takes, of course, execution, good coaching, of course. It also takes getting over and playing through injuries, but it really takes a lot of lucky bounces and things going your way. And for the last 10 years or so for the Giants, when we've been on these shitty runs and these terrible years that we've been on, we never got those breaks. We always would watch them happen to everybody else. And here it was again. Giants in the end zone. We have a huge third down. I think it was a third down. And Peters from the Ravens drops a interception in the end zone, which would have crushed the Giants' chances to putting this game away. They never would have got the ball back at that point. But he drops the interception because this team just will not allow it. They don't know how to lose. It's unbelievable. So after the drop, at this point, you're on another roller coaster. This is what I've accepted at this point is this is how every game's going to go. Every single game. I'm going to nearly die. Probably have to change my pants. But we're going to pull this out because we have too much heart. And what happened? 1 minute 43 seconds left. Saquon Barkley with the go-ahead touchdown after coming in after he aggravated that shoulder again. Giants go up 24-20, and at this point are 1 minute and 40-some seconds away from going 5-1. 5-1. So the stage was set there for the Ravens and for Lamar Jackson to have a big play, to have one of those games that we're usually accustomed to where at the very end we give the team too much time to go down the field and rip our hearts out, and we always just have to accept it. That's what it's like to be a Giants fan. But my God, it's not there anymore, folks. It's a totally different vibe. There was the confidence as a fan, and the confidence is there in the defense on the player side of the ball. I mean, these guys are balling out all over the field, making the plays, making the stops, diving all over, playing for each other, playing for their coaches, buying into everything. And it's an unfamiliar sight, but my God, is it refreshing. So despite it all being right there, despite the stage being set for Lamar Jackson to do Lamar Jackson things, it wasn't meant to be. It was not meant to be as destiny continues to intervene for the New York Football Giants. And I said his name earlier, talking about these rookies contributing one after another. And Kayvon Thibodeau, once again, just like last week as multiple Giants came up with big knockdown passes, here goes KT making a strip of Lamar Jackson. And the Giants recover the ball to guarantee themselves a victory and a 5-1 start, folks. It's unreal. It's just guys that go out and just play football and ignore all of the noise, ignore every week who the outsiders say that you can't beat. and they just don't listen to it. They have a game plan and a belief in one another, and they execute it week after week. And you look at the way the Giants spread the ball, offensively today, we keep talking about the team aspect. Daniel Jones goes 19 of 27, 173 yards, but 2 touchdowns this time. I know that's been something that the fantasy geeks have been constantly bitching about, is the lack of touchdowns. Well, there you go. He didn't crack 200, but he got you on the board twice. Danny Dimes. Saquon Barkley, 22 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown. Again, though, when it mattered most, this guy was, the heart that he has, it can't even be questioned. Going out there with his injured shoulder, but coming back in the game and immediately contributing. And by the way, the final run by Barkley, I was so mad that he ran down and stopped it short of the goal line. I understand at that point, you basically make the Ravens burn their last time out. There's no chance now that they can get the ball back. But even at that point, I'm thinking if you walk in, which he was going to, you're going to go up 31-20. It doesn't matter at that point. They're not going to score twice in the span of how many seconds were left at that point. But regardless, still beautiful. Giants, we spread the ball offensively. Look at the guys. How many receivers you had today? You had Ballinger with 5 receptions, Robinson 3 receptions, both each with a touchdown. Marcus Johnson 2 receptions, Richie James, Slayton, only 1 catch for Slayton, but he dropped him. Saquon, Sills, Breida. The spreading the ball all around to anybody that can actually get on the field. Man, who would have thought? I had this team winning about 10 games. In my September prediction, 10 games, which, I was being accused in September, when I said that we're going to go 10-8, that I needed to be drug tested at this point, that, we had way too much meth up here, but here we are. And folks, it's looking like the Giants are going to sail past that. Anything can happen right now, but the next thing up is the Jaguars next Sunday, October 23rd. It's a 1 o'clock game. It's at the 2-4 Jacksonville Jaguars. And you look at the next few weeks here, folks, at Seattle, very winnable game. Home against the Texans, very winnable game. And then home against the Lions, very winnable game. And then it's the Thanksgiving showdown with the Dallas Cowboys. So, folks, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves, but you'd have to lie and not say here that the Giants' next few weeks are all winnable games. And I don't even know how to respond to the fact that we are right now one of the best teams in the National Football League. It's one thing to beat my chest and, try and say that as a rallying point, but my God, we really are. We really are. There is nobody left on this schedule that the Giants can't beat. Nobody. When this team plays like that, when our opponents are within 1 or 2 scores in the second half, that's a nightmare for you. That's a nightmare. So I don't know where, our fan base is going to be now. I know there's a lot that we could improve on. I know that, again, the Daniel Jones thing, he's not putting up the numbers that you want. But honestly, folks, what can you complain about now? What could you possibly say negatively about the New York Giants now? From coaching down to special teams, this team does it all very well. And it's just going to be the way things go over the course of the next few days, over the next week or so. The national media, the bigger voices that have constantly dragged and shit on the Giants and refused to believe that what they were witnessing was a reality, they're going to slowly start to come around. But you know what? But at this point, I don't really give a shit. I don't want to start getting too big for our head right now. I don't want to start being praised by the national media as some contender. Every week, we're going to grind out quarter after quarter, no matter who's in front of us. We're going to play ugly football. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be like the Buffalo Bills or the Chiefs. You're going to put up 30, 40 points and get into shootouts. We are a defensive team that plays with a running game and just well-coached team that's going to grind it out for 60 minutes. But if you know this game and you know the longevity of this game, when it comes to December, when it comes to January football, that's the football that takes you well into winter, folks. So I'm extremely confident about these New York Giants going forward. You're damn right. I'm confident about this 5-1 team. My God. And I admit, when it comes to this shit, I am very petty. I am going to go through my comments on all of the various social media, Mr. Chuck Knoxx and Chuck Knoxx platforms, and look at those comments, not just from Ravens fans, but the pessimistic Giants fans who are getting smaller by the week that didn't give this team a chance. And I'm going to read them, and I'm going to enjoy every one of them. You have to. So the talk of last week was that the Giants were the worst 4-1 team of all time. And now I'm waiting to hear how we're the worst 5-1 team of all time. Two weeks in a row. Told us we couldn't do it, we did it. Told us we can't win this way, we did it. We did it anyway. We don't give a damn about what you think and who you think we can't beat. We don't care. We don't have the best guys at some of these positions, but we have the best team right now. We are playing like the best team because a complete team, a really good team that's built well to go deep, is a team that can just plug somebody in, next man up, no matter what the deficit is, no matter who the opponent is. They just grind. They just go. And that's who we are. And my God, it feels great. We got all week to look forward to the Jaguars and start prepping for that. And, hopefully we came out of this game pretty injury-free. And if we didn't, guys that we, have been sitting on the injury list for a while, hopefully they can heal up. And it's, if we can get everybody healthy, the healthier we are getting, we're going to be that much more dangerous going down the road, folks. And I love the fact that we don't play the division leader, as of right now, the Philadelphia Eagles, till later in this season. That's beautiful. Tonight, the Eagles will host the Dallas Cowboys, and the Eagles could march on here to being still undefeated, or the Cowboys could take them out. I'm torn on it. I don't know who I want to win this game. There's statistical and mathematical reasons why you would want either one of these teams to win. But I'm just going to be honest now. I'm just rooting for destruction. I am rooting for death. I know we're not supposed to say that, and I don't mean that in a literal sense, but I want everybody out there to get banged up, to get fucked up, and just beat the shit out of one another. Because now it's in their head. It's trust me, it's in their head now that they know, holy shit, we cannot blink because the New York Giants are not going anywhere. We're just right here. We're like Jason. It's like it's the Halloween month. It's fitting. We're Michael Myers. You keep looking behind you, and we just get closer and closer with the inevitable outcome that we're going to kill you. And we are. My God, this feels great. I just want to thank everybody this week on the content level. It's been amazing. I've been really busting my ass to try and put out as much content as possible, which, having a full-time job and doing this at the same time. But it's been a pleasure of mine to rally this fan base around a winning season finally. And it's been my goal since I came in here in 2011 to document and be here for us for another one of these. And 10 years of going through this shit, this is all worth it, folks. To be here together and experience this has been absolutely amazing. But I want to thank everybody for constantly watching the videos and also just telling me how much the content, means to you. Whether it's the hype videos and you telling me that it got you motivated the reaction videos, which made you laugh your ass off, or if you're, starting to enjoy this podcast. So this has been a great week and a great run that we're all on, and I'm just very grateful and thankful for the play of the Giants, but also you, the fans, as well. And it's going to keep going. We're just going to keep grinding. This was the very first post-game podcast that I want to do on the Chuck Knoxx Show. So going forward, you can expect a podcast twice a week here in the season. We're going to get one out on game day, post-game, and then you'll get the one later in the week around Wednesday or Thursday. People always ask me what type of schedule is the content really on. And really, that's it. It's going to be post-game podcast on Sunday, since we pretty much play here on Sunday here and out. Then you're going to have the hype videos, the reaction video by Monday at the latest, sometimes Sunday night. Actually, I'll be going right into this to edit that, which wait until you see this. It's unbelievable. And then we get the full podcast edition in the middle of the week, Wednesday or Thursday. And, of course, the hype videos drop Friday nights, late Friday nights. So something to stay up to if you want to. 2 or 3 in the morning, just on a binge, and you just come home and you want to just punch somebody and run through the drywall. That's what I'm here for. That's what I do. So to everybody else, take this win in, enjoy it. Just put your damn chest out, put your head up high. We are 5-1, folks. You have doubters and New York Giants haters in your life. Give them hell this week, especially tomorrow when you go to work and you just let everybody know who the fuck you are and who this team is. I will be around, of course, all week long on everything. Which, by the way, my Substack, if you have not heard about that, is a great little newsletter I'm trying to get out for fans. Chuck Knoxx, you can find it there. It's on the Facebook page and the Twitter page at Mr. Chuck Knoxx on Facebook, and Twitter at Chuck Knoxx. If you want to see the links to that, I'm going into detail, writing in between the week, and sometimes some post-game wrap-ups writings. But other than that, at Mr. Chuck Knoxx on YouTube, where all the videos, the home of all the videos, my goal this year was to take over YouTube and reestablish this channel and myself as the premier Giants content creator. And so far, I'm ready to run through the walls with you. I'm there at Chuck Knoxx on, of course, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. So each one of these social media things has a various exclusives. Stay with me all week, because I'm going to talk a massive amount of shit this week. And I'm just going to ride this high. And I got myself a 6-pack, and I'm going to enjoy it, folks, because we have earned it as the 5-1 New York Football Giants. Enjoy it. Next week, I'll see you right here, or actually later this week, on the Chuck Knoxx Show next. So we'll see you later this week, and enjoy it, folks. 5-1 team. Fuck them up. Let's go. Keep it going. Believe in the New York Football Giants. Until next time.